What has your pet accidentally conditioned you to do? One of my dogs has several barks, a play bark and a squirrel bark and other dog things that are normal dog barks. He also had what we call his emergency bark. The emergency bark is what he does when he thinks there is serious danger. It is extremely loud and makes us jump every time. He usually reserves it for things like the time I fell down the stairs and he scream barked for my husband to help, or when someone is in our front yard, or when he cornered a possum in the backyard. However, since my husband started working from home, this dog barks his emergency bark at my husband if he tries working past 4 p.m. My husband now has learned to stop working at about 3:50 every day to avoid that jarring sound. Buy braided cables, rubber ones cat chews on. Ensure all cans and bottles are put up, cat will knock them over in the middle of the night. Keep sink empty, or cat will try to lick clean all the dishes. Buy non-leather furniture due to cat claws. Buy cat hair-friendly furniture. I like to keep a clean place, but a dark sofa for instance would be a nightmare. Don't buy long window drapes that extend to the floor, cat will brush on them and you'll have furry drapes. Leave room somewhere for the cat to see outside, otherwise it will find a way through the blinds come hell or high water. That some cats are stand-up pissers and there is never a litter box that is too tall. When I come home, my dog comes to the door all excited, wagging her tail, making this woo-woo-woo-woo sound. It's not quite howling, but it's not barking either. I started to woo-woo-woo-woo back to her, because it amused me. But now if I don't, the sound she makes will turn into barking, which is very noisy and unpleasant. So basically she's trained me to have this dumb woo-woo-woo conversation with her, in order to keep her from yelling at me. Edit because lots of people are asking, she's a Portuguese water dog. I've shared this before, but I got my dog Snoopy when I was 10 years and ever since he was a puppy he had this weird love for lettuce. He would go absolutely nuts for it, so whenever I had a sandwich or a burger I would give him some of my lettuce. Over the years it became a ritual that whenever I prepared any food for myself that involved lettuce, I would grab some extra lettuce for him, so I could toss it to him as I ate. He passed away 5 years ago after nearly 17 years together, but I still find myself grabbing that bit of extra lettuce for him. It's kind of funny that his little quirk has still stuck with me for all these years and I honestly never want it to go away, because it's a little way for me to remember him. I will stay in bed an extra hour or so every morning, doing work on my phone, purely so Gypsy can get in some prime snuggles. When my alarm goes off, Gypsy comes running in and announces her pleasure of having an awake human to give her pets. We spend 10 minutes doling out lovies before she finds a spot to snuggle against me. Then I stay here. Don't move. Don't disturb the kitty. She always looks disappointed on the days she doesn't hear my alarm and I meet her in the living room instead. Cat tax, snuggling this very moment. https://imager. Every morning, I wake up and immediately take my dog for a walk. I have had this routine for a few years now, but didn't realize how integral this process was for me until I had a weekend where my parents took him for a few days of adventure, and I realized that without going for my morning walk, my body would not let me take a morning dump. I have found through studies with my Fitbit that it takes about 1,000 steps before my body accepts that I am good to go in the morning. Now, on mornings where someone else walks my dog or it's too rainy to walk, I still have to walk for a bit on the treadmill just to loosen things up or else I'm very uncomfortable for the whole day until I've hit my magic step requirement. Lots of things. Baby steps when walking anywhere in my house to avoid stepping on a tail, or a stopped cat, waking up to a single claw prod letting me know it's time for breakfast. That part alternately charms me and annoys me. She knows the claws hurt me, so she chooses to only use a poke with one claw to wake me up, but I get the full paw full of claws the rest of the day to communicate happiness or displeasure, having to wait in the kitchen for her to eat her meal at dinner time. She won't do it unless I'm there supervising. I made a special calling voice for my cats, kind of stya, a hard-pressed almost close-mouthed noise. What's for humans is kinda quiet but my cats can hear it for 50 to 60 meters and run up to me. They also don't listen to PSPSPSP. So, I use this voice/noise frequently due to being effective. However, even my human members learned it. We went to France for a trip with XSO and his sister plus their mom. As I walk in the mall with SO mom, we lose them and can't find. We call out their names with no response when I put up a huge grin on my face. SO mom, watch this. What? Staya. The same moment, two head rises and darts toward me. Gotcha. PSA. So we hung a bell from the back door with the intent of training our dog to ring it to go outside. Never really got around to it except she learned to do it with no prompting. Just rang it and I came and opened the door and that was it. She then began ringing it and backing away from the door when I opened it. She learned that I would fill her water bowl after I came to the door, since the kitchen's there. She now uses it for general attention getting. She knows I will come to her if she rings. I had to raise the bell so she couldn't ring it while laying down.